How to create a website with the 2022 theme from WordPress? Let's get to it. What's up everybody, my name is David, and in this tutorial video, I'm gonna walk you through step 1 to step done on how to create a beautiful, responsive, high converting website with the 2022 theme. This theme is a complete departure from other previous flagship themes from WordPress because it now implements full site editing. Full site editing just means that you can jump into the backend and adjust and edit templates and template parts and then pick and choose, mix and match what template part you want to go with what. I know it could be a little bit confusing and overwhelming for a complete beginner, but by the end of this tutorial video, you're going to have a good grasp about how full site editing works. We're going to begin the process by getting a domain name and a shared hosting account from Bluehost. Then I'm going to show you how to install WordPress and how to optimize WordPress on the back end. And then we're finally going to begin designing our website. Like always, make sure to check the links in the description for timestamps and resources mentioned in this video. So let's begin. Okay, so in this tutorial video, I'm going to show you how to design this type of website with the 2022 theme. How do you set it up so you have a nice call to action at the very top of the website with an image off to the left, logo in the center, menu items to the left and the right, how to establish different blog post sections on the homepage. And so this one's being powered by a specific category, so you can kind of target and self-select what blog posts you want to display on the homepage instead of just any blog post. Then we also have a section where you can just display all your blog posts as you want, how to customize different pages like your about page, your contact page, resources, how to create a blog archive page, how to set up a contact form, how to custom design about page with different block templates, and how to set a footer down here. And lastly, how to optimize everything on mobile so that image disappears so you can have a nice call to action front and center. And so your blog posts look really nice and readable on the homepage. Anyways, let's get started. Let's get a domain name and a shared hosting account. So we're going to be using Bluehost in this tutorial video. So I recommend Bluehost for new websites and beginners because they are the #1 recommended web host for WordPress. So that's not just my opinion. This is WordPress.org hosting, and Bluehost is their #1 recommendation. Very easy to use, good price, good hosting, etc. Now, it's a little bit confusing with all the things to look at and click. You just want to navigate down here and click on where it says website hosting. So let's go ahead and click on that. Wonderful. So now bring your website to life. So you have a bunch of different plans. You have Basic Plus, Choice Plus, and Pro. I personally recommend Choice Plus or the Plus plan because in general, those two plans give you enough resources to grow a high traffic website, particularly Choice Plus. Basic is okay, but the issue is that you get one website. And once you learn how to create a website, you're going to want to have more than one website. So at a minimum, I'd recommend Plus or Choice Plus. Now, Pro is ideal if you already have an established website or maybe a portfolio of websites that are getting decent amount of traffic and you want to move over to Bluehost, then you want the Pro plan. Anyways, pick Plus or Choice Plus, and then when you're ready, click on Select. Okay, so now it's time to set up a domain name for our shared hosting account. So all shared hosting accounts with any web host, they must have a primary domain name on the account. So you can either use a domain name you registered from somewhere else, or you can create a new domain name. Now this will register a new domain name through Bluehost. And Bluehost does give you a free domain name for the first year. Then the second year, you have to pay for domain name registration fees. Also, you can navigate over here to choose a different domain name extensions, but I definitely recommend a .com if it's going to be a website for commercial purposes. Anyways, go ahead and put in the domain name that you want to register. Then click on Next. Wonderful, my domain name is available. So if your domain name is not available, that just means you need to try a different word combination, but I strongly suggest trying to get a .com of your liking. Next, very simple, just fill out your account information. Your package information is right down here where you have 12 months or 36 months. Then package extras. So we can come down here and go to site lock security and we can uncheck this. We don't really need that. And right here is the total price that you'll be charged. Then fill out your payment information and then make sure to check this right here if you don't want to receive emails about updates and product discounts, etc. Totally up to you. And then click on submit when you're ready to purchase. Welcome to Bluehost. So this is your Bluehost dashboard. So after you submit payment, it will take you to an onboarding process, which you can kind of just skip through. Now, one additional little thing that you need to do is check your email. Now, when you check your email, you're going to get two emails from Bluehost. You're going to have a general welcome to Bluehost email that's going to have your name servers, but you're also going to have this, the whois verification for the domain name that you registered. You do need to verify your email. So just go ahead and take care of this. Just open the email, click this green verify your email button, and that is it. Okay, so with Bluehost and WordPress, your website already has WordPress installed. It's literally that simple. You can just go ahead and click on this login to WordPress button and that'll log you into your website. But I want to walk you through how it's set up and how it's done. So I'm going to first go over here and click on sites, and then I'm going to click on this manage sites right there. I'm going to go to settings and then scroll down, and I'm going to delete this site, and we'll click on delete. There we go. Now, the reason I'm deleting this site is because I just want to walk you through the process about how to set up a website with Bluehost. So right here we have my sites, and go ahead and click on add site. So we'll create a new site and give it a name and a tagline. You can always change this later, so it's not that important. Okay, so next I want you to click on the blue advanced tab. Right down here, you can set your email address, WordPress admin username, and WordPress admin password. So these two credentials right here allow you to log into your website. Now, by default with Bluehost and WordPress, it automatically sets up WordPress for you. So it automatically generates an admin username and an admin password associated with the email username that you use to sign up to Bluehost with. So if you want to set your own password and username, this is how you do it. So anyways, when you're ready, click on next. Next is to choose a domain name. So we have the domain name we registered through Bluehost already good to go. Then we have these plugins. So WP Forms, it's good for contact forms like a contact page. Opt-in monsters for opt-in forms like pop-ups. Monster Insights connects with Google Analytics, so you can see your Google Analytics within your WordPress dashboard. Honestly, at this time, we don't really need these plugins. We can always install them later. And next, I want you to leave the directory blank because we want to install WordPress on the root domain name, not in a directory. When you're ready, click on next. Okay, so WordPress is ready to deploy. We can go ahead and click on skip this step. And that's it. Congratulations, WordPress is installed successfully. Then you have your username, password, and then you can go ahead and click on this blue login to WordPress button. Next, it's going to say loading WordPress. And that is it. How to log into your WordPress website. So with Bluehost, you have two options. So option number one is to log into your Bluehost account. Navigate over here to this little drop down and then select the website you want to log into. So I only have one website installed right here. Next, all you'd have to do is click on this login to WordPress button, and it's really that simple. Or you can navigate to mywebsite.com/wp-admin. This is how you log into any WordPress website with any web host. And what it'll do is it'll redirect you to this page, and you simply put in your username, email that you created during the WordPress installation process, as well as the password, and that is it. Welcome to WordPress. So there's a few things we need to do first before we can begin designing our website. So we're going to delete a lot of pre-installed plugins and themes. So first off, navigate down here to where it says plugins and go ahead and click on it. And let's scroll down, and now we're going to check on Bluehost, Creative Mail, and Jetpack. These are the three plugins we don't need installed at this time. Go to bulk actions, go to deactivate, click on apply. And there we go. So you can also go ahead and check these two and delete them completely if you want, but I'm just going to leave them uninstalled. Next, we want to navigate to where it says appearance and navigate to themes. Okay, so we're going to be using the 2022 theme, so we can go ahead and delete these other pre-installed themes. So we can go ahead and click on this and then navigate down here to where it says delete, and do that for each one of these themes. All right, so you should only have the 2022 theme left. Next, I want you to navigate to where it says settings, and then navigate to where it says permalinks. Now, permalinks stands for permanent links, and it's the URL structure of your website. Now, by default, WordPress now sets everything to post name, which is, generally speaking, a good URL structure for any type of blog, content-oriented website that's going to be under 1,000 blog posts. But if you want to have something like we'll say /blog/post name, you can go ahead and do that. Another good one is to have /category/post name. So you can go ahead and do that. You can click on category right there. So then your website will be category, post name. Category is ideal if you're running a large website with 1,000+ blog posts. So Again, totally up to you, whatever it is you're building. Anyways, but make sure to save changes if you change it from something other than post name. Next, let's navigate to where it says users. So go ahead and click on that. Now here is your primary administrator account. So if we click in this or click on this, navigate to this page. Over here, we can change a couple personal options for displays, not a big deal. But what's more important right down here is how to change the display name. So what if I don't want to have this like nickname and I want to change it to something like just my name, like David? Well, you can type in nickname right there, David, for example, and then display name publicly as David, and you can change it that way. So your username will still be the same thing, but it'll just be displayed as something else. Next, you can add in these URLs if you want, but not really that important. What is important right down here is biographical information. So this is that info box you often see on blogs where it's like David is a professional blogger, writer, YouTuber, blah, blah, blah. It's populated from this section of WordPress. And then you can also add in a gravatar if you want. So what a gravatar is that it associates an image with an email. So you do have to create a gravatar account. And so you need to associate it with the email that you're using right here. So whatever email you use to create your WordPress account with Bluehost, use the same email and add in a gravatar that way. All right, so let me go ahead and click on all users. And we can also, in addition, add new users as we want. So say you want to bring on a writer, this is how you do it. So you have the role right down here. You have subscriber, you have SEO editor, manager, contributor. Now, administrator has full access to the website. Each additional role underneath has less and less access to like what they can edit. So like a author, for example, can only edit their own blog posts, whereas an editor can edit everything that's published on the website, but doesn't have access to specific things. So again, if you want to bring on writers for your website, this is how you do it. And one last little thing, let's navigate back to all users and let's open up the administrator account again. What if you want to change your password? So let's navigate down here and right down here where it says account management and new password. So let's say you just installed WordPress with Bluehost automatically and it automatically generated a password for you. You can just navigate down here, click on set new password, and then add in a password of your choosing that way. And that is it. Full site editing with the 2022 theme. So once this theme's installed and activated, it completely changes the appearance tab within your WordPress dashboard. You're only going to see editor that's in beta, totally normal. And this is how you're going to be editing the site. So if we navigate to the home page, we still have our customize tab, but the customize tab has been kind of reduced in its functionality. We really only have access to site identity, homepage settings, additional CSS. Then if you have an additional plugin like a SEO plugin like Yoast or Rank Math, it may add an additional tab right there. But really it navigates you to using the site editor right over here. So let's click on this. Now, when you click on site editor, you can navigate to that page the same way as clicking on this right here, the editor that's in beta. And here we go. So as you can see, as I mouse over it, highlights everything. So it works by way of a block editor. So I'm currently on the home page right here and I'm editing the header section. And then this is the body right there. So if we click on this and we'll click on that, that's the header. And I can click over here, replace the header with a different block as I like. I can come over here for the image. I can click over here to remove the image, replace this with a different image, whatever I want to do. We have the title right there. And then this is the image for the blog post. And pretty straightforward overall. I can delete the footer or I can replace the footer with something else. So now it works by way of a block editor. And so it is a little bit confusing at first. Now, one thing you need to click on is the WordPress logo, and it opens up your templates and template parts. And this is how you edit and design your site. So if we take a look at the templates for the 2022 theme, you come with a few standard templates. So primarily your index, which is your blog post archive page, your archive for your categories and tags, your home page, a blank page, the standard default page, the way it's going to look, 404, and then your blog post pages and your standard page templates. And we can click on add new, and then we have other templates that we can add in. So taxonomy, tags, dates, categories, if you want. And right over here, we have template parts. So we have headers and footers, and we can click over here to add in different types of headers or footers as we want. So if you want to custom design your own header and your own footer, or just keep it general and to add in that block, that template where you want, you can go ahead and do that. Now let's take a look at the blog post. So this is the blog post and this is the page. So with this, you need to make sure that you navigate over here and choose the template that you want to have this be using. So right here, we have default template, blank and single post, no separators. That's it. That's all you have access to. So even if you navigate over here and you add in template parts, you can add in as many template parts as you want, but you're really only stuck with these templates. So if you want to edit the blog post, you need to make sure that you select blank or single post or the default template and edit that template within this section right here. And then when you're happy with the way this comes out, so say we're going to start completely blank. We're going to use a completely blank template and build the blog post page from scratch. Then I'd navigate over here and I'm done with the way I like that blank template I designed it. Navigate over here and select blank, and you have to do that for each and every single blog post that you create. Very simple. Then pages are the same thing. So template page, okay? And then we have to blank page, large header, or page, no separators. And so we'll say like, okay, I really like the no separator post or a no separator page or the page with the large header, whatever, edit and design it. When you're happy, save it, and then come over here to the page and be like, all right, I custom designed the page large header template to my liking. So I'm going to make sure to select that. And you got to use that template each and every time. So that's how this whole system kind of works now, okay? So you have your design. Let's navigate over here back to the dashboard, and we'll come over here and let's open up the beta site editor again. And so you have your template right here, and then you navigate over here, and then you select on the template that you want to adjust. And we'll say like we want to edit and adjust the page large header, and it's going to open up the default page template, which we can then adjust and change to our liking. And then when we're happy with this, we can set this template to be for a specific page that we create, if that makes any sense. Anyways, let's continue. Let's begin designing our website with the 2022 theme. So I'm going to be redesigning my site. Okay, so here's my blog. I'm going to try and make this exact design or something similar to it using the 2022 theme. So we're going to have a call to action at the top with this nice big button, logo, menu items, then a blog post section right there. So, you know, maybe your most popular blog post or your blog post where you're really leveraging affiliate marketing in some key way, and then maybe the latest blog post and a nice well-designed footer. And then we're going to be designing the individual blog posts and pages. So let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is set a page to be the home page, and we're going to design the home page separate from the rest of the website. So to do that, we first need to navigate over here to where it says pages. Go ahead and click on that. Then click on the button that says add new. Next, you just need to give this page a title. I'm going to call this the home page. And just so for my own organization on the back end of my own website, so I know what's going on. Go ahead and click on publish. And that is it. That's all you need to do. So we're going to navigate back to the WordPress dashboard. So now we've created a page. We've called it home page. Now we're going to navigate over here to where it says settings. Then you want to navigate over here to where it says reading. Go ahead and click on reading. And next, your home page displays your latest posts. Nope, we want to click on a static page. Then navigate down here, home page, and we're going to select on home page. Now at this time, I don't have a page for the post page. We don't need it yet. It's not important because we're going to be adding blog posts to the home page. But if you do want to create a post page, then you can just navigate over here to page and create a page and call it blog and make sure the URL's /blog. If that makes any sense. So just leave it like that is good for now. And let's click on save changes. Okay, great. So let's navigate back to pages. And now it's going to be tagged as front page. That means that's your front page, the home page is your front page, whatever. So let's go ahead and take a look at our website, see how it looks. All right, looks bad. So, but this is totally standard. This is what you can expect. So we're gonna go ahead and click on edit site. And we're gonna navigate over here for toggle navigation, and then we're gonna click on templates. Now, if we navigate over here, we're going to have blank, page, single post, etc. So we're going to go over here for add new. And we're going to click on this front page template, displays the home page. So let's go ahead and click on that. And this is our home page. So home page, I'll just type in a quick little sentence right there. We'll click on save. The template that we're using is the front page template. Great. So let's click on save. And there you go. So click on the little gear icon so everything opens up. And that's it. So now we just have a front page template. So let me navigate over here and I'll click on the home page again. Okay, so now we have the default template front page. So we're going to navigate here to template. And now which one do we want to select? Well, you're like, well, I want the front page. Well, where's the front page? Default template is the front page template. So you don't have to change anything. That's the correct template. So we're going to click on update. And there we go. And let's take a look at our website. I'll click on the little URL. It should just be a blank page with a little sentence. Perfect. So this is what we want. We want a blank slate. And now we're going to begin adding in blocks. Let's begin editing our header and call to action section. So if we take a look at my website, this is actually two parts. It looks like one big thing sitting above the body of the content, but this is its own piece and this is a different piece. They just have the same background color, so it all blends together and looks really nice. And we can do the same thing with the 2022 theme. So let's get started. So let's go ahead and delete this homepage text right there. Click on the plus sign. What do we want to add in? We want to add in a header. So we want to have a menu and a logo. So that's your header section. So just literally type in header. There you go. Click on browse all. Simple as that. Now these are a bunch of pre-made templates that we can click on. It's going to load and then we can edit and adjust to our liking. Now you may be asking like, well, can I just make my own header? Like, yeah, absolutely. If you want to do that, you click over here, go to template parts, open up this, and then you can just navigate over here, click on add new and create your own header from scratch. I personally don't recommend doing that. It's a little bit clunky and doesn't like work as well as I would like. So I personally like editing one of these pre-made designs. So anyways, let's minimize that. Let's close out this and go back over here. All right, let's type in header again and let's click on browse all. So I want something that has the menu in the center, or sorry, the logo in the center flanked by the menu. And if we navigate down here, we have a couple different options that you can play around with. And right here, so header with centered logo and black background. Click on that. There you go. Okay, so now we want to have a call to action section added in. So there's two ways to, there's one way to do this, but this is a mistake that I know a lot of people are going to make. What you're going to think to do is click over here, click on plus, and we'll click on this add block. We'll do that again. Now you want to add in another header section actually, so the two items blend together. And the section that I personally like is this one because the design is quite wide and you can just delete this item right here. So if we click on save for the front page, let's open it up. And what you're going to notice is a big white line. It doesn't blend together. You're like, how do I get rid of this white line? Very simple. You made a mistake. So let's close out this, come back to the editor. I'll backtrack out of that. Okay, so instead of clicking this plus sign, you need to click on the one that's right here. You need to click on the header section, find the little plus sign right there, click on plus there, then type in header. Then click on browse all, then select the header section. So again, I like this one, the large header with the dark background, just because it's nice and wide. And this is going to be our call to action section. We're going to adjust this, obviously. We're not going to leave it as is. We're going to delete this item up top there. But let's go ahead and click on save. Click on save again. And let's take a look at the design. And perfect. Everything blends together, looks great. Now you can't see the menu up top there because we haven't added in any items, but there's no white line. So good, happy about that. All right, so right over here, we can edit and adjust these things. So what we really want to do is just remove navigation, click on that, remove row, and there you go. Click on this and remove row right there. Everything moves up. So we got our logo right there that we can upload, menu, text right there, a nice image right here we can get rid of. But again, we're going to be adjusting and making it into this. But this is a nice basic template to get started with. So go ahead and click on save again. And let's load up the site, make sure everything looks good. Great. So now all we need to do is add in the logo, a few different menu items, and now we're ready to adjust and edit the call to action section. Let's adjust the header and the menu section of our website. So you're going to need a few things to do this part. So first off, let's click on edit site. Let's open up the editor again. And we're going to be adding in a couple different pages for these links and a logo. So what I recommend doing is jumping over to pages, going to add new, and then creating whatever pages that you want to link to in the menu. So I'm going to be linking to about, blog, contact, and resources. So you have to actually create these pages. So go ahead and do that. And then you are going to need a logo. Now for logo design, there's a few things I recommend. Either you can hop over to here to Fiverr to find someone to create a logo for you. They can create you a .webp file, an SVG file, or a PNG that you can upload to your site. Or you can use something like Canva and custom design your own logo. And so both options are fine. Canva is free to use, but you do have to pay to get access to certain specific graphics and transparent background. And so it is worth paying for, in my opinion, if you are going to be creating a lot of graphics regularly. So this is the logo that I created. And so all it is text and an icon in the background that I designed. Very simple. So we navigate over here. For example, let's click on elements and let's click on, I don't know, rectangle. And we'll click on this. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and select on some type of design over here. And we'll click on this one. And then I'll go ahead and click over here for text, add in text, then design text, design the logo. You can play around with this on your own time, but this is the way I would recommend creating a logo. So when you're ready to download it, you can click on share, then you have to click on download. Now I pay for Canva so I can download as a transparent background. So it's going to remove all this bluish green background and then just focus in on the logo. But those are your two options, okay? So you can create a logo with Canva, or I would recommend jumping over to Fiverr and find someone to create a logo for you. All right, so let's go back to our website, and I want to add in some links. So let's go here and let's click on add link, and let's select one of the item pages that come up. So we're going to select on blog. Simple as that. Next, click on add link, let it load, and we'll click on resources. Then we'll click on add link. And let's click on contact. All right, and then last one we want about. So we can type in about because it's not popping up, and there it is. Simple as that. Now with each item as well, you can select it, and then you can click on the little icon right here to move items left to right. If like you don't like the logo being centered and you want to change it, you can just do that at the click of a button. Very easy. All right, so now we have our links to the menu items right there. Let's go ahead and click on the logo. So click on it and then click on it again, add a site logo. And let's go ahead and drag and drop. Let me get rid of this right there. Okay, let's go ahead and drag and drop our logo into place. All right, so the title is the logo. I would call the alt text logo. Click on select. And there we go. So depending on the size of the logo, you can make it really big. This logo is actually quite small, so we'll make it about that size right there. That looks good. Okay, and so we're good to go right here with the way that this is laid out. Click on save. Now, one thing to pay attention to. So the site, these changes will affect your whole site. Icon, logo, uncheck icon. Icon is this little thing, the favicon. We want to upload our own custom favicon that fits. Like this logo is not going to fit as a favicon. So favicon is a little circle-y square thing, so it doesn't match. So uncheck icon, click on save, and there we go. So now let's take a quick look at our site, see how that looks. And there you go. Simple as that to add in a logo and a few menu items. Now let's go ahead and upload a favicon for our website. So a favicon is this little icon in the tab, really helpful for branding purposes. Now you want to navigate to where it says customize, not edit site, customize. Then we want to navigate over here to site identity, and then you want to upload a site icon. So if I click on site icon, just drag and drop an icon into place. So this is an ICO file that I created that I actually use for my actual site. And all right, so if you have this type of error, you're not allowed to upload this file. Either contact your web host and ask, hey, I want to upload .ico files and see if they let you. Otherwise, you're going to have to export this as a different file. So I'll just open this with GIMP and let's do that. And then I'm going to go ahead and file, export as Favicon, and I'll call it this Favicon PNG and save it as a .png file. Let's go ahead and click on export and then click on export again. There we go. So now we have a Favicon PNG. All right, so we'll go ahead and click on select site icon again, and we'll drag and drop the PNG into place. And there we go. Click on select, click on skip crop image, and there we go. So now we've successfully uploaded a Favicon and added a logo to our site, as well as a few different menu items. Let's add in the offer section, the call to action section of our website. So what we're going to be doing is adding in this part right here with a button, a title, copy, and an image off to the left. So let's do it. So anyways, first off, begin by clicking on the edit site to open the site editor. Now, of all the parts to pay attention to this part. It's a little tricky. Now, first thing I want you to do is click over here. Not here, click right here. Next, go down and click on the plus sign that you see. We're going to add in a column. So type in columns if you don't see it. Columns right there. And I want the 30 by 70 column. Let's go ahead and click on that. There we go. So now we're going to add our image here, and we're going to add text over here. So let me click on this, the image, and I'll upload the image that I created. There we go. So just in case you're curious, this image I made in Canva, and it's about a 500 by 700 pixel picture. Nothing crazy. All right, so let's take the copy that we have over here, and I'm going to add in a paragraph, and we're going to copy and paste that in. And I want this to be a heading actually, so we'll change that. H2 is okay. We'll open up this. And next we're going to take the copy right down here. We'll take that and put that in right here. Now, as you notice, it's kind of like narrow. It's like, how do you make it wider? Click on the whole group. Next, click on the gear icon. Then click on inherit default layout. Turn that off. There you go. So now everything kind of switches over here. Looks good. Now we're kind of ready to delete everything. So we don't need this big image right here. Go ahead and delete that. We don't need anything underneath here. So let's just see if there's any other space here. Nope. Okay. And then we don't need this top section right there. We can go ahead and remove that, and then remove this again. And there we go. Okay, so now we can kind of adjust this a little bit. So we can click on this block right there. Maybe I want that to be a little bit more narrow. So we'll change it to 60. So that looks a little bit better. And that looks much better, actually. Very easy to read. I like how it's wide. And the one thing we're missing is a button. So let's go ahead and add that in. So click over here. So this box should be selected. Click on the plus sign. Then type in button, or if you see buttons, just go ahead and click on it. There we go. So now we've effectively added a button. So we'll add in some text. So we'll say download now. And let's click on the button itself. Click on the gear icon. So again, the gear icon, if you click over here, you're adjusting the whole entire block. We want to adjust the specific thing within the block. So first thing I want to do is let's center this. Change item justification. I want this center. Maybe let's make this a little bit wider, 50%. That looks really good. So we'll click X off of that. Next, I want this entire thing to kind of be more in the middle, not towards the top. So let's click on this. And I'm going to click on right here, and we'll say align middle. All right, we'll click on bottom. And then let's do that again. There we go. Takes a few clicks. All right, so maybe this image is a little big. We can kind of reduce the size a little bit. We shrink it down just a pinch. There we go. And let's move the image over, align right. And there we go. It's okay. So let's maybe make it a little bit bigger. Yeah, okay, that looks good. And yeah, I think that looks great. So we're good to go. Now, one thing I know you're going to ask is like, oh, it's a little tight at the top. How do you can I move this thing down? It's like, yeah, no problem. So you want to click over here. You want to click the whole thing again. Sorry, this one right here. And then click on plus. And then you want spacer. Click on spacer. Move the spacer up. And now you can free to kind of adjust how you want it. We'll move it up just a little bit to give it a little bit of breathing room. Kind of put that right in the middle like that. And there we go. So now we got a nice looking design overall. So let's go ahead and click on save. Save to the front page, save navigation. Yep, Let's click on save. And that is it. Next, let's go ahead and change the colors and change the fonts to something else. So if you're happy with black, then by all means, just keep it the way it is. But if you're like, well, how do I make it anything other than black? Easy. You have to navigate over here and make sure you select the entire block. Next, click on the gear icon. Down here, you're going to see background. The background selected to black. So again, you have to click on up in the corner so it selects the entire block. So navigate over here to background, and there you go. So you can change the color to whatever you want. Now, if there's a specific color that you know you want, so we can navigate right here, you can copy and paste in a specific color as such. There we go. And there you go. Simple as that. Now we do the same thing for this block. So we click over here, the whole block selected, the background's black. We want to change it. Let's click here. I'll click here, and we'll blend it all together. And there you go. Simple as that. Okay, so a few other things. So now we have the menu at the top right here. We have this title right there. So let's click over here and let's adjust the menu. So we'll click in the middle. So the whole menu selected. There we go. We'll click on the gear icon. All right, so now we can change the justification right there. We can change the typography right over here by selecting this. We can click over here for the gear icon. And we can change the custom size and spacing, all that stuff that we want. So anyways, I'll just kind of leave this as is. I kind of like the way this looks just out of the box, but if you want to change it, that's how it works. And for the individual item, click on it, and then we can just click over here and we can just bold this each individually. All right, so anyways, we click over here, click on this over here, the little icon for the global settings, changes the typography here. And so this is where you can change things as you like. So system fonts, I want to change it to this, Serve Pro or default. It's simple as that. That's how you do it. And again, you can just choose and switch things around. So gotta be careful with what you select, but again, because it may change other things. Again, this is in beta. This is why it's in beta, because it's still being worked out. And there you go. So now we have the line height, appearance default. So maybe I don't want that to be default. I want that to be semi-bold, or maybe I want that to be extra bold. And it changes everything easily. So we'll change this to bold, or maybe semi-bold. Yeah, I like semi-bold. We'll leave it at that. That looks good. All right, so that's it for adjusting the menu. So now we can do the same thing for this section of our site. So go ahead and click on the title right here. Click on the gear icon. All right, so now we have the default size. We can change it to whatever we want, change it to something else. So custom size, we'll say 2. All right, that's way too small. 200, that's way too big. So we'll change it to 40. There we go. Okay, so maybe 50. Make that nice and big. Appearance, and we'll just say semi-bold for that. And there we go. So we have the typography right there. So again, how do you change the typography? Click over here, and we have the typography right there. So text and links. And so we can change the system font, but again, this is what it looks like out of the box. All right, so anyways, I'm gonna leave this as is. I think it looks really nice, but again, you can play around with this to choose and pick and choose what you want personally. Maybe I'll change this one right there so it's not so heavy. So we'll just do default. And maybe I want each one of these items to be bolded. So I'll just bold that manually, and so that the text stays nice and normal and readable. So let me click over here. Again, this is just how it works. Got to do this little things like this. Highlight this one, bold, and take that to be bold. There we go. So now we have the menu bolded. We have this item over here bolded, and it looks good. Okay, so you are limited with your font selection. Okay, if you're like, well, I don't like this font. Well, I don't know what to tell you. It's how this font, it's how this theme is. This is what you're stuck with using for the different titles. Now for the button over here, we gotta click on the button to adjust it. Click on the gear icon. And now again, this is where we change everything about the button. So we have the background over here. Want to change it to red? Okay, maybe that's a little too red. Change that to like a little, tone it down just a bit. That looks good. And we have the text right there. I can just highlight the text. I want to bold it. Simple as that. And again, with the button over here, it's very easy. You can highlight this if you just want to add in a link like that. Hyperlink right there. Open a new tab if it's an external website. Probably going to be a page on your website, so you don't need to check that. But you can type in the URL where you want the button to link to. And that is it. So when you're finished, go ahead and click on save, and that is it. Now it's time to add blog post sections to our home page. So overall, the header section looks fantastic. I'm really impressed. Very happy with this design. Now we're going to be adding in different sections. So this business software section is a category, and I have it set to display the static posts that are in this category because these are the ones that I'm really pushing an offer from an affiliate perspective. So these are my money posts, so to speak. And then we navigate down here. This is the blog. This is the latest and greatest blog post that's been published or updated. And we can do the same thing with this theme. So one thing we need to do is go ahead and install a plugin called Stackable. So navigate back to your plugins, navigate over here, plugins, and then click on add new. And we're going to be using something called Stackable. So we'll type that in. There we go. Go ahead and search for that. And right here, Stackable Page Builder Gutenberg Blocks. Click on Install. Next, click on Activates. And we can go ahead and skip this as well. Now I went ahead and created a bunch of default blog posts just for demonstration purposes. Anyways, let's continue. So let's go ahead and click on Edit Site. All right, so once we've done that, let's scroll down just a little bit. So we need to give this a title. Okay, so an H2 title tag helps break up the content and makes it scannable and just more structured overall. So right over here, plus sign, paragraph, and I'll type in, we'll just say software reviews. And I'll change this into a header and we'll keep that as H2. I'm gonna go ahead and bold that. And that looks good. All right, so now we're gonna add in the blog post. So click on plus. You wanna click on browse all. These purplish pink buttons, these are added by Stackable. Now we want the one that's for posts. So blog posts. And there we go, right there. So I'll type in post so it pops up there. There we go, post. Now WordPress does come with their own, but I'm not really happy with the way this works. So I really like Stackable a bit more. Anyways, let's click on this. And it's going to populate this. So we'll click on default. Click on default. There we go. All right. And it looks really good. So we can change a few things right over here. So again, to edit any type of block within WordPress, you want to click on your little gear icon. So we have the featured image, title, category, excerpt, meta, and read more. So we don't really need a read more link. We don't really need the meta description. Excerpt is okay. Category, not really that important. Title, featured image, and the excerpt, I think, are important. So you can adjust each one of these to your liking. So we can click on title, for example. You can make the title bigger, smaller, whatever it is you want to do. So maybe I'll keep it not that big. Yeah, like there. That's fine. I like that. And you can also change it to an H3, H4. I would keep it H3 because this is the H2 title tag. So H3 is a subheader. So you want these to be a subheading of software reviews. Anyway, so I like the way this looks out of the box. So we'll keep it as is. You can play around with this on your own if you want. Featured image, I want to keep. Excerpt. All right, so this is a little bit text heavy. So we'll just reduce that maybe down to 30. That looks good. And right over here, I have it kind of set to light gray. So it's a little bit easier to read. So we'll click over here and let's just eyeball it and kind of set it up a little bit. So again, there we go. Not like that. And yeah, maybe like that, right? Light gray. Yeah, I think that looks nice. We'll keep it like that. All right, we'll close out of this and there we go. So let's navigate up top there. If you click on general, now with general, you have columns right here. And this is where you can change it to 3 columns if you want. So completely up to you. And so right now, this is showing the latest and greatest blog posts. So if I want to change this and I want to show a specific category, how do you do that? You have to navigate here to query. And then number of items 6, newest to oldest, that's what's set by. Filter by category, okay, but categories include in, right over here, we could type in tech because I set a category called to tech. And so it's only going to show the tech blog posts, okay? So we look over here, we have tech. And that's why you only see 3 because there's only 3 blog posts. And so you can set it up whichever way you want. So I'm going to have it be software reviews, keep it like this. And next I'm going to have the blog section. So we'll click over here for paragraph and I'll just type in blog and we'll go ahead and bold that. There we go. And again, just like before, make this into a heading, H2 title tag for the heading, and same block as before. So click on post and I'll click on default. Number of items, we'll say 6 is fine. We'll change the general layout to, again, 3, so it's a little bit readable. And there we go. So we got this one being populated by a specific category. So whenever you blog and you want a section like this section to display a certain blog post, maybe there's like 6 or 9 affiliate blog posts you have on your website that drive a lot of revenue, sales, etc. You can just set it to whatever category you want to set it up here. And next, I'm going to just keep this to like the latest and greatest for everything. So now you just need to copy the same settings as before, and there's no quick way to do this. You just got to do it manually. So, or I guess you could, let me click over here, click on copy. Yeah, I guess I could do that, huh? So we can actually copy that. Let me remove this, remove posts, and we'll navigate back down here. We'll paste that in. Yeah, there we go. And so now that we've copied and pasted this block to right here, all we have to do is jump back into the settings and we can just eliminate this category section right there to display all the blog posts that we want. And there you go. So we have columns 3, content width right there, general. So number of items, this is going to show 6. If you want to show 9 or 15 or whatever, how many blog posts you have, you can adjust it as you want. So maybe I'll change this to 3, show the latest 3 blog posts published. And this one will show like the 6 of a specific category, whatever. But this is how you set everything up. Actually, let me go ahead and change this back to 6. I think that looks better. There we go. And that is it. So again, you can set it up and break it up into different sections with ease, just like that, and set each block to display certain categories to your liking. So if you want to show everything you can or show one specific category, you have that option. Anyways, when you're ready to continue, go ahead and click on save. Click on save again. There we go. And let's go ahead and take a quick look at the site. All right, that looks good, good, good. Maybe we could have a little bit more space right here. It's kind of tight, I think. So let's go ahead and add in a spacer. So click over here and click on that. And we'll type in spacer. There we go. And we'll move that up. And we'll just shrink that just a little bit, just to give it a little bit more breathing room. Click on save. Let's reload the site. Kind of push down a bit. And that looks good. Anyways, that is it for how to set up the blog post section on your homepage. Let's add a footer to our website. So the footer is the bottom section of the web page that contains things like your privacy policy, terms of use, a secondary menu, that type of thing. So it's quite important to have, and it's also just a hygiene aspect. Like that's what's missing from this site. That's why it kind of looks weird, because it doesn't have that structure that you're accustomed to looking at. Now to add a footer, very simple. Go ahead and click on the plus sign. Then you want to literally type in footer. Go ahead and click on footer, and then we can click on choose or start blank. So if you want to create your own footer from scratch, you can, but I definitely recommend just jumping in and loading up a template. So we have a bunch of different templates to choose from that we want to edit. I personally like this one right here, so I'm going to click on that. Okay, let me scroll down here. This looks good. But it does need to have a few things adjusted. So first off, the site title, we definitely don't need that there, so we can go ahead and remove that. Now over here, I want to click on this, and I want this more up top here. I don't want this at the bottom. So we'll click on align top. There we go. And the logo, I don't want the logo there, so I'll remove the logo. Now we have a nice little spot to add in links, etc. So I'm going to click on the plus sign. I'm going to go ahead and click on columns, and I'm going to split this with 50-50 columns. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and give this one a title and click on paragraph, and I'll say something like, I don't know, company. You call it company, whatever you want, company, and I'll click over here, paragraph, and I don't know, we'll say info. There we go. And maybe we'll center this one, and let me go ahead and center this one. There we go. And then we have about us. So I'm going to remove that. And that's fine. Have it be about us. You can keep it, But if you want to add in the logo, you can go ahead and do that. So not too hard. So we'll come over here, press enter right there. That moves this down. Now we can choose a block, and I want to type in logo. So now we have the logo. There we go, site logo. Click there. We'll click over here, align center, maybe make this a little bit smaller. And then you can give a nice little quick little paragraph about what the site is about. Then over here, you have company and info. So you can go ahead and add in links. So you can have to do this manually. So I'll type in something like about, contact, blog, resources. And if you click on the item over here, click on the gear icon, click on the typography, you can change the size as you like. So maybe make it 13 so it's a little bit smaller. I'll do that again, 13. Do this one more time. And let's just set up that. And there we go. Okay, so you can do the same thing for info as well. And again, if you want to center this, very simple. Just go ahead and do that. Very quick and easily. And there we go. Okay. And then you can do the same thing for info. So add in additional links if you want. And next, let's add in the copyright for the website, as well as links to the privacy policy and terms of use page. So again, click on the whole entire element, then click enter. It will create a new space underneath. And then you can just manually type it in. So copyright, and then name of website. I'll just put in example, and then 20XX. Okay, for the dates, and then page separator, privacy, page separator, terms. There we go. You could also consider centering this as well. And so there you go. Very simple. And if you want to change this, so we can click over here, text, and we can make this maybe like a light gray, something that doesn't stand out so much, so it's not so prominent. Maybe just a subtly gray. Let's navigate down there. That looks good. Okay, and finally, let's change this awful beige color to something that matches the website. So we're going to make it the same color that we're using up top here. So click on one of the corners to select the entire group. There we go. So we have the block, background. Let's change this awful color. And there we go. Back out of this and copy and paste the color code in. There we go. So as you can tell, everything's black and it doesn't really match, and this text doesn't match. So now you have to jump in to each element and make sure that it matches as required. So navigate over here, the text, I'll change this to maybe white or maybe a little bit off white. We'll click over here. We'll change it to like a little bit of a color that's kind of nice and readable. There we go. So I like that. Nice light gray. So we'll copy this one. And there we go. I think it looks quite nice. Now to turn these into links is very simple. Just click on the element, highlight it, and click on the link icon, and then type in the URL you want to link to. If you're linking off your website, that's when you want to have it open in a new tab. But if you're linking to something that's within your website, like the About page, then you don't want it to open in a new tab. And that is it. Creating a dedicated blog post page for your website. So if we take a look at the blog link in the menu that I created up top there, we're on example.com/blog, and this looks pretty bad. So how do you make it so it displays your latest and greatest blog posts? Step 1, navigate over here to your WordPress dashboard. Navigate down to settings, reading. Then you want to establish a dedicated page for the blog. And so we navigate over here. Let's open up pages. I went ahead and created a blog page. And so the blog page is just called blog. Literally, that's it. And now for post page, I can navigate here and select blog. Then click on save changes. There we go. And let's reload this. And now this is our archive page. So perfect. Showing off our archive right here, but we're missing our footer. And we need to adjust the header. It's literally all we need to do. So very simple. So first thing I want you to do is click on edit page. And next we want to click on where it says edit right here. I know it says the post page template cannot be changed. It absolutely can be changed. I don't know why it says that. It's completely wrong. So here we go. So we just need to swap all these blocks out. Very simple. So first thing, we do not need an image of a bird. An illustration of a bird flying. That's lovely, but unnecessary. Let's go ahead and remove that. Next, I want to replace this. So let's click around. There we go. I finally selected the elements. Click over here to replace. And you want to choose the header that we created, so it should be saved. Let's navigate down here and right here. Let's open up that. There we go. Now the only thing we need to do is change the colors. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'll click off to the right-hand side over here. We have the background. And I'll click on the foreground. We'll change this to the color of the website that we've been using. There we go. Okay, so that changes this color. Now we just need to change the color of the actual block. Okay, so now I have the actual individual block selected. Not this. You have to actually select the individual block. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, so let's go ahead and change this background color right here. Paste that in, and there we go. So now we have the header all set up. Let's navigate to the bottom of the website, navigate over here, click on replace, and then select the footer that we created. And there you go. So there we go. That's it. That's all you need to do. And that is it for how to create the archive page for the blog. Okay, so let's just take a quick look to see how it looks. So let's go ahead and open up the blog. And there we go. Okay, so now we have the blog right here, nice header, and the footer ready to go. And that is it. Designing your individual blog post with the 2022 theme. Now, once you establish a blog archive page in the header, it sets the header for the individual blog post. But we take a look at the bottom here, we still need to adjust the footer. So very simple, just jump into the templates and then replace this footer with the footer that we created. Now, one little thing I want you to pay attention to as well that's really fun about this theme. So we click over here on post, you have template right there. You have 3 templates to choose from. So you have your default template, blank, and single post. The reason this is valuable is that you can custom design each of these to your liking to have a different type of call to action. So maybe you can have the default template just be the standard blog post, maybe single post, no separates. You can adjust that to have like a call to action. Blank is a completely blank template. So if we click on blank, let me just show you this really quick. And here's that same blog post. Let's reload it and we reload it again. There we go. So all the content's gone, just the paragraph text that we have right there. So if you want to jump into the blank template and custom design it from scratch, replace the header with a different type of header and footer, whatever you want to do, you can do that. Anyways, let me navigate back here. I'll change this back to the default template. Let's go ahead and open that up. Now, also, if you're like single post, no separators, what are we talking about there? Let me reload this actually. The separator is just this line. So if you're like, how do I get rid of this line? Well, then you just have to select on no separators. All right, so let me jump into the template over here, templates. Let's find the one that says single post, no separators right there. That's page, single post, no separators. There we go. Okay, so we have the post title right there. So I went ahead and centered the content already. And so you can go ahead and do that. Over here, you can change the text, background. You can make the post title bigger, smaller, whatever it is you want to do. So if you want to have it be a really large size, you can do that. We'll make it like 90. Here's the image. So you can change the dimensions of the image over here. So if you don't like how wide it is, you want to just change it. You can play around with this on your own time. Then we have the content right there. So the content is the content. Now, if you're like, how do I change the size of the blog post content? Simple. You actually have to be in the blog post editor. You click on the box over here. Then you can manually change the block setting to change the text size. You can't do that in the template editor, only on the individual blog post. All right, then we have post date, author, categories, tags. I would leave it. Google expert authority trust. It's quite important now to demonstrate who the author is. Post categories are good for internal linking, help demonstrate what the blog post is about. And the date is fine because you can always update the date. So you come over here, you click on this, then you can change the date to the most recent date whenever you update the blog post, and they'll update over there. That's simple. All right, so let's navigate down here because we're in the template editor. And let's click over here. Let's replace this with the footer that we made. There we go. And now say now the template that I'm on now is a single post, no separators. let's just say I want to have like a call to action at the very bottom of this. Let me type in button, see what comes up. I'm not seeing anything actually. All right, so actually let me click on browse all, click on X, and then let's navigate to patterns, featured, and I'll navigate down here to buttons. Let's take a quick look. Yeah, okay, we'll open up this one right there. Let's click X off of that and X off of that. So there you go. So if I want to have like the single post, no separators, whatever, have a call to action below the blog post, right above the footer, there you go. You can set it up from there. And don't forget, you can also do that at the very top of the page too, if you like. So if you want to like redesign, let me open up the home page. If you want to take this element and put it at the top of every individual blog post, you can. Just follow the process again and just adjust the template as needed. It's really that simple. Anyway, so I'm liking the way that this is looking. Big post title, centered, call to action down here. Let's click on save, single post, no separator. Let's save that. All right, looks good. Let's close out of that. And let's navigate over here. Okay, so now we have this. Let's reload this. And we'll take a quick look and you're like, whoa, wait, it didn't change. Why didn't it change? All right, you have to manually change it over here. So we're gonna select on single post, no separators. Okay, let's click on update. Let's wait for it to update. There we go. All right, wonderful. And let's reload the page. Good, so the text is bigger, image, content right there. Then we have a nice like maybe call to action at the very bottom of the site. And again, if you want to turn comments off, you can do that individually on each individual blog post. Right over here with discussion, allow comments, allow pingbacks, you can turn that off and that will remove this box right here. And you can also do that site wide in your settings within WordPress. Designing the about page for your website. So your about page is pretty important. You should link to an about page in the main menu or in the footer at a minimum. The about page should cover a few key things. Why does this website exist? What problem are you solving? How are you solving that specific problem? Who's associated with the website? Anything that doesn't fit on the homepage, put on the about page, like, I don't know, a business timeline. And then a final call to action to do something. Subscribe to the website, buy something, a coupon code, whatever. Now let's go over here and click on edit page. Personally, I would just keep things simple. Now with the any page on your site, you do have a few different templates. You have the default template, which is the page template. Then you have single post, blank, page, large header, page, no separators. So totally up to you. Again, just like with your blog posts, you can custom design each of these to have a different style, look, and feel to it. Again, I just keep things simple and we'll just use the block editor in text and images. Now, if you click on the plus sign and you click on browse all, you do have a bunch of different patterns you can play around with. So we have featured, footers, headers, query, pages, buttons. Again, there's a lot of things you can just easily click and add into your site to make it look very beautiful and compelling. So we'll click on open spaces right there. That looks nice. Okay, we'll click on another pattern over here and navigate down. Let's scroll to the bottom right there. And I don't know, let's add in this one right there. Okay, that looks good. So again, you can kind of jump in, change the text, swap it around, change the text as you want. Very nice. You know, you have a lot of functionality built in. Okay, let's click on one more. And let's click on this one. There we go. So let's go ahead and update this. And let's take a quick look at what the about page looks like. And let's open it up. And there we go. So if you want to get fancy, there you go. Very simple. Now you can add in plugins to add in additional functionality to your page design, blog post design, etc. So we navigate over here to plugins and we click on add new. I'm going to type in Spectra. There we go. Type enter, hit enter, and then click on install and click on activate. There we go. Now Spectra is installed. So if we navigate back to the about page and let's reload it, what you're going to notice is that you have a new little icon at the top right here that says template kits. So if you click over here for template kits, you have a bunch of pages. Okay, so you can just click on any of these pages and it's going to install this entire page for your site. Or you can click on patterns and add in a specific pattern. So for example, like the about section right there, we can click on this one right here. We'll click on imports. And there we go. So we have a nice simple block right there. So I can move this up. There we go. Simple as that. So let's go ahead and click on update. There we go. And let's reload the page. And there you go. So you can swap this image for yourself, change the text, have your social media links, and use different blocks to edit and design this page, or just keep things simple, which is what I personally would do. Just have a text, paragraph, images. Again, it's your website, totally up to you. But just remember to navigate over to pages and then to make sure what template you're adjusting. So one thing that if you notice, the footer. Okay, so again, we have to adjust and change the footer for the about page. And what template are we on? We're on the page template. So let me navigate over here. We're going to go to edit site. I'll close out of that. And let's open up this, go to templates. Now let's find page right here. Okay, let's open up this. Then navigate down here, click on this, replace, click on the footer, click on save, save to the page template. There we go. Let's open up this right there, open up the about page, and there we go. So simple as that. Adding in a contact form for your contact page. Now, you can totally just write, thanks for your interest in the website, reply to emails in 24 to 48 hours. Here's our phone number, email, social media links, etc. But if you really want to add in a form, this is how you do it. So step one is to navigate back to your WordPress dashboard, navigate down to plugins, and go ahead and click on add new. Now, the plugin we're going to be adding in is called WP Form. So go ahead and search for that. Then click on install. And then click on activate. There we go. All right. So now we can scroll down a little bit and we can click on create your first form. Now, WP Forms is an advanced form builder for a wide variety of use cases, not just contact forms, but they do provide a simple contact form. That's really good. So we're going to click over here to use this template. All right, so now we have the form set up. So we're in the fields section. I want to change this. I don't really need your last name to fill out the form. So let's go ahead and click on the box, navigate over to format, click on simple. There we go. I like it. Name, email, comment or message. Then click on settings and then click on notifications. Now right here, send to email address. This is the email that's going to receive emails when people fill out the form. So currently it's set to the admin email for your WordPress installation. If you want to change this to something else, this is where you can change it. When you're ready, click on save. There we go. So now you can click over here for embed, select an existing page, create a new page. No, we're just going to click on X. Really, much simpler. Now we have the short code ID. So we can just highlight this right here, copy this short code, jump back over here to a contact page, edit the contact page. Now again, just like the about page, you have different templates. So we're just going to be using the default page template. But now we have shortcodes. We can have text goes here. Then I can just embed this, copy and paste it in the form right there. Let's click on updates. There we go. So now we have text and the form ID. Now this is called a short code. So short code just means that the contact form box is going to automatically display. So let's go check it out and open up this in a new tab. And there you go. So now we have a nice contact form right here. Okay. And it's as simple as that. A general overview of the SEO of your website. So a few things do need to be adjusted now that we're pretty much good to go with the design. So first thing we need to do is change the page title. So up top there, we see homepage - hello world. That's not what we want. So you want to jump over here to edit page. Next, you're going to need an SEO plugin installed. So we already have the Yoast SEO plugin installed. You can also use Rank Math. There's a wide variety. They all functionally do the same thing. So right over here, we have homepage, hello world. We can delete this. So it should be site title, page separator, and then keyword description. There we go. And then meta description should incorporate some of your keywords as well. So we can go ahead and click on update. And we can take a quick look to make sure it all changed as correct. Yep, there we go. Site title, keyword description. And then you have your individual blog posts. And you want to do the same thing as well. So up top there, looks good. So it's laptop operating system is the keyword title, page separator, then the site title. Now, why does this say hello world? You're like, I don't get it. So let's navigate over here to settings, navigate over here to general. And right here, I have the site title just set to hello world. So you can change it to the name of your website, and then it will automatically populate this at the end of the title. Now, if we click on edit post and you want to change this, you can easily do so as well. Same way. So we navigate down here and you can adjust the title of your pages over here. So you can adjust the SEO title, the slug, and then the meta description. Now, be careful with changing the URL structure. Okay, this is not something that you want to be switching around. It's called your permalink because it stands for permanent link, meaning like you don't change it. So just make sure to just use dashes to separate everything, no underscores, and definitely don't put numbers in here. Like if I put in like the 9 best laptops for XYZ target group, then I change my mind 6 months later, I want to make it 12. That's why you don't want numbers in the URL. Really that simple. So that's all you need to do to change the SEO settings for specific items and pages. So I recommend doing that for each of your individual pages on your website. So the home page should be site title, then a keyword description. Then your individual pages should be contact, page separator, site title. Then about us, page separator, site title. Blog post should be the blog post title, page separator, then the site title. And it's that easy, and that's what I would recommend doing. Optimizing your website for mobile. So by default, the 2022 theme is pretty good overall, but it's not perfect. And this design does need a little bit of help to get it optimal when someone visits your website on their phone. So you right click and you go to inspect. This is what our website looks like. So we got the menu at the top right there, which is fine, but I don't really like this big image, how it's sitting at the top. I'd rather just be focused right here. So we're gonna have to hide the image. And then the blog post looks awful, like 3-column design. So how do we fix this? What do we have to do? So first things first, let's get rid of this big image at the top when the user is on mobile. Looks great on desktop, but not for mobile. Now we have to use something right over here at media screen and max width 480 pixels. Then the image display none. This is just custom CSS. So let me copy that and let me go over here to customize. And then we want to navigate over here to additional CSS. I'll copy and paste that in. All right, so a few things. So the part that you need to copy here is this. I'll delete this WP image 49. So you need to have it be media, screen, and max width, then whatever pixel you want. I have a 480, you can make it 440, whatever. The brackets, display none. Now you're like, well, where did you get WP image 49? Like that's not where, because this image is WP 49. How do you know that? You right click, go over here to inspect, and then it's going to pop up with the code over here. Then if you take a look at it, it's going to say WP image 49. So let's open this up, just expand this a little bit more. Okay, so right there we see all class WP image 49. That's where you get that from. So whatever image you're using, whatever it's tagged within your WordPress installation, that's what you need to switch out. So maybe it's 52, maybe it's 16, whatever. Switch this out and then you're good to go. That's it. Then this image will not appear. So let's go ahead and click on publish. And let me X out of this. There we go. Okay, let's reload. And then if we click over here to inspect, the image is gone. So looks great. All right, let's fix this because this is a big mess. Like this looks terrible on mobile. So it's not too hard. It's just a lot of button clicking, etc. So we're going to go to edit sites. There we are. And let's open up our template. Actually, sorry, the template is already open. There we go. All right, so let's navigate down here, and I want you to select the box. Next, I want you to click on the Advanced tab. Then I want you to click on Responsive. Then I want you to click on Hide on Mobile. And then I want you to navigate down here and do the same thing. Click on this, Hide on Mobile. So these two items are not going to be shown anymore when the user's on their phone. So if we click on Save, click on this again, and we'll open it up. Let's reload the site, and then let's go to Inspect, and then there's nothing. So right over here, we don't have any content. So now we just need to re-add in the blocks, but then make the blocks so they do display on mobile, but they're hidden on desktop and maybe tablet if you want. So how do you do that? Simple. Click on the box and then navigate right underneath. Click on the plus sign. Then you want to type in again, posts. Should pop up. All right, so I'm not seeing anything there. So we'll click on browse all. There we go. We have posts right there. Go ahead and click on it. Click on default. And there we go. So now we click on this box, click on advanced, and we want to hide this on desktop, hide this on tablet. Tablet's up to you. I'm going to hide it on tablet, and we'll have it be appearing on mobile. And then just adjust the settings as before up top here. So we click on save right there. And then we just have to do the same thing down here. So we find where our blog is. Okay. And then we can just go ahead and maybe add in a new block section right here. Click on this, browse all. We'll click on posts again. Where's that? All right, click on that. There we go. Default looks good. I'll move it down underneath there. And then click on this and hide on desktop, hide on tablet, viewed on mobile. We'll click on save. Click on save. And all right, there we go. So it looks good. So let's go ahead and reload this. Let's click on inspect. And now we have content right underneath as required. And it looks a lot better. All right, so now we have two columns. I'll change that to one. So this one is the one that is set to be appearing on mobile. And then same with this one right here. So we got this main one and then the secondary one. Just from a visual perspective, so I kind of can just eyeball it, look at it, and understand which one's the mobile, which one's the desktop version. So it doesn't matter. It's not going to change anything because right now everything is working correctly. But anyways, that's how you optimize your homepage for mobile. So you can get rid of this image so everything's clean and focused on your main call to action. And then the blog posts look a lot better when the user's visiting your website on a mobile device. Adjusting the menu for a mobile device. So if we jump back over here to inspect, what you're going to notice at the top is that you have a little hamburger icon. That's literally what it's called. Now, if the end user clicks over here, it opens up the menu. You're going to notice that the logo is in the middle. That's because with this design, the logo is part of the menu item. And this is just how it looks. And this is a limitation of this design. So if you like it, no problem. Keep it the way it is. But if you want to change things around, these are your different options. So let me X out of this. Now let's begin by navigating over here to edit site. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do is add in two blocks for the menu. One block for the actual menu item and then one block for the logo. So you want to make sure you click the whole entire menu item. And then once it's selected, hit enter. That's all you have to do. Now we can add in the site logo. Just click on site logo and it will appear. If you don't want it on the right, you click on this little icon to move it left, and then the logo moves over. So step one is make sure that you click on the little gear icon, and then you want to select the entire menu item. Okay, so once the menu item is selected, you have to kind of click the little blue line. It's a little tricky, but you'll get the hang of it. Now that everything is highlighted correctly, you have a couple different options over here. So you can turn this show icon on and off with the display. So we have the mobile icon there, or you turn off and it's just going to say the word menu. So if I turn overlay menu, we'll have it always be on. This is what it's going to look like. This is what it's going to look like on desktop and laptop for your end visitor. It's going to say the logo, then it's going to say menu. Most people don't like that. I think the icon looks better.
you can have the complete opposite where you can turn everything off. Then you're going to have the logo and then your menu item. And so what that does is something very nice, and I think it looks good, is you're going to have your logo at the very top, followed by your menu item. Personally, this really works quite well if you only have 4 menu items. Once you go 5, 6, 7, it starts pushing everything down underneath. So if you want 4 menu items and a nice clean design, then that's what I would recommend doing. You can turn it off altogether and just keep 4 items. And don't worry about this. That's just because I'm in the design editor. The CSS is still working. And it's just that simple. Those are your different options. Okay, so you can keep everything the way it is with the logo in the middle, flanked by the menu items. If you don't like the way that looks and you want the menu to be displayed on a mobile device, then you have to delete the logo from the main menu that's in this menu item, then create another block, add in the logo. And then once you select this item over here, we got to click the little blue line at the top. There we go. You can show icon. You can have it only display on mobile. You can have it always display or off. Again, I would turn it off if you're only going with 4 menu items, or keep mobile on if you're going to be going with more than that. And personally, I don't like this. I would never do this. I would never have the hamburger icon on desktop. Again, it's your website, your choice. All right, everyone, that is it for this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it. So overall, we created a very nice, effective looking website, logo in the center, menu items on the left and the right. Good call to action right here, blog posts that are optimized for mobile as well. How to customize each individual page, how to set up a contact page, etc. Maybe the only other little additional thing that you should add in would be a privacy policy and a terms of use page, so you can do that on your own time. Those are just basic legal pages by default. WordPress does come with their own privacy policy right there, so you can just go ahead and open this page up and just change things as around to reflect your website. It's a good template just to get started with. And then the terms of use page are just like, what do people agree to abide by when visiting your website? Again, not essential. If you have a completely brand new website, maybe just go with the privacy policy and then leave it at that. But these are just things you want to take care of when your site starts getting a decent amount of traffic. I would say maybe like 500 visitors a day, that kind of range, 300 visitors a day. You want to consider adding in a privacy policy, terms of use. Also, it's just hygiene, looks professional. Anyways, that is it for this tutorial.
All right, everyone, that's it for this tutorial video on the 2022 theme with full site editing. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, consider subscribing and hit that like button. My name is David. Thank you very much for watching and have a great day. Bye-bye.